Hey, it's Brett Klicka here. In today's blog, Training Youth from Chaos to Control, I want to share with you a couple different strategies, and I'm trying this in video today as well because I know that different people are different types of learners, and I love to educate. So if you're not someone who likes to sit and read, well, if you're more of a visual or if you're more of an auditory learner, here's an opportunity for you to learn too. So I just want to share the gist of this article. If you wanted the quick time version. I've been a coach with kids for many years, and one thing that I know is anybody that has coached for many years, you know how difficult it is to keep kids on task. Kids would rather chase butterflies and pick daisies often than do the drills we want to do, whether we're in sport coaching or personal training, and it leads to a lot of frustration. So I got 3 tips for you today that have worked brilliantly for me over the years. I learned these the hard way over the last 20 years coaching and working with kids, and I want to share them with you. So, the first thing when you're working with kids, whether you're in personal training or sports practice, is start your session with movement. Kids are coming to you with a ton of energy, and when we meet that energy with standing around and stretching or talking to them or getting them into lines, what happens is there's a disconnect and they come with a lot of energy and we're stonewalling it. And even though it seems logical to say, okay, well, you're coming in with a lot of energy, I need to calm you down, I've had more success by just starting a practice or a session with a game. Let's run around, let's scream, let's be crazy. Essentially, let's get it out of your system. And this could be, it's very unrelated to the sports. So it can be Simon Says, it can be tag, it can be any of those type of sort of random things. But what it does, it meets their level of energy. Another interesting caveat to that, what I found is I used to always, if kids are running around chasing butterflies and picking daisies or just not focused, it was a matter of, come on guys, get focused, over here, pay attention, pay attention. And as we know, that doesn't work. So what I found one time is I had a bunch of kids essentially picking daisies. They're like 6 years old, trying to teach them soccer drills. And I said, okay, we're going to have a daisy picking contest. We're going to go pick as many dandelions and flowers that are in the grass as you can. You got 30 seconds, and the winner gets to be the first person in line. Well, the kids went nuts. They were picking the flowers and they're doing all this, and they came over, and the winner, whoever had the most, got to be first in line. Well, what happened with that though was after that they all were standing around looking at me. It was like a bunch of baby birds looking to be fed. They were like, "What's next, coach? What's next? What do you want us to do next?" And that was an epiphany for me. I thought, "Oh my God." I sort of met them where they were at, and now they're like, "What do you want us to do next?" And so then after that I was like, "Okay, now we're going to do this." And they moved right onto the drills, and all of a sudden I had this level of focus. So I found instead of trying to stonewall energy, meet their energy. And in that first 5 minutes of a practice, I'll play the games, but then we'll also put warm up into that. So we'll be playing Simon Says, we'll be playing tag, and we'll go 30 seconds and stop and stretch, or stop and do a shuffle drill or karaoke drill or something else to get them warmed up. So it's really worked well for me, so give that a try. The second thing that has really worked for me is keep tactical drills short. And this might go without saying, but we all know how short kids' attention spans are. And what we do as coaches, many of us are volunteers, so we don't know the ins and outs of coaching of every sport. And some personal trainers are even unfamiliar with working with kids. But if we keep those drills short, so in other words, in around 5 minutes or less, instead of, if we're working on softball, instead of having them do the same grounders drill over and over and over and cycling everybody through for 20 minutes, taking a good concentrated 5 minutes on one thing. Okay, now we're going to work on getting your glove to the ground. Now we're going to work on scooping the ball in with 2 hands, whatever it is. You got about 5 minutes, and really that's the high end before they're out. They're checked out. Well, you don't have to change the drill drastically. It's not like, okay, we're going to do fielding for 5 minutes, and we're going to do hitting for 5 minutes, and we're going to do throwing for 5 minutes. But what we can do is, if we're going to, that day, decide we're going to work on fielding for 20 minutes, break that into 5-minute chunks. So you got a 5-minute chunk where, first you introduce it, you got a 5-minute chunk where you're working on some aspect. And then you'll take another sort of rework it, recoach it, and then take another 5-minute chunk. And then attach a drill to that that's more of a game. So you got 5-minute drills, 5-minute drills, and then a drill-based game where they're having fun. That's about 15 to 20 minutes right there of peer engagement. So the drills change just enough. So I'm not talking about throwing in all kinds of drastic, but instead of their glove has to go all the way to the ground, maybe now they're moving. Maybe, okay, now you have to move forward to the ball or move back. Or so just slight changes to keep it interesting and keep them engaged and always looking to get better. So that's something that's worked remarkably for me as well. Finally, the third thing, as a sports coach or as a trainer, realize kids that used to come to us years ago were coming to us after going to physical education in school. They're playing all day long. They had many things going on outside of sports. Right now, if you're a sport coach or a personal trainer, this is it. This is the only thing most kids are doing is sports or some sort of observed or overseen type of physical activity. So in knowing that, really a responsibility falls on us as these people that are helping kids in their fitness journey. A responsibility falls on us to really develop them wholly as an athlete and as a physical specimen, really. So make that a part of every practice. Make that physical development part of every practice. Make it part of every training session. By that, I mean having a conditioning aspect, and don't make it to where, okay, everybody, we're just going to run laps. Kids hate it. They learn to hate it. It's not fun. I've had a lot of success with circuits. So every day, even if it's only 5 minutes, with a team of, let's say, 15 kids, you got 5 circuits, 3 kids in each circuit. They're 30 seconds each, 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. They're doing things like bear crawls and jump rope and agility ladder and ball throws, and it's all general. This doesn't have to do with the sport. This is all very general work. You can do your circuit, your 30-second on, 30-second off circuit for one time through, which would be 5 minutes, or you can do it 2 times through. It's 10 minutes, however much time you have. The ironic thing is the main goal of its conditioning. The kids are breathing hard, their muscles are burning. It's not related to the sport. However, what I found is this is the kids' favorite time, especially the young kids. This is their favorite time of practice, is when we get to do these drills, particularly if I get some equipment, like even things as simple as jump ropes, medicine balls. If you want your kids to condition, just buy some cheap parachutes. They'll run all day long to fill up that parachute. And so you just have different circuits. It doesn't matter what sport you do. If you really want to look at the big picture and develop these kids, have that be a part of your program. So the 3 things: start practice with movement. The second is keep your tactical drills short. You won't pull out your hair. The kids will have a lot more fun, and always incorporate some sort of athletic conditioning that develops them physically as a whole young athlete. And that way, we're all contributing to creating a future of happy, healthy, pain-free adults with today's youth. So I hope you learned something there. I have more details in the article below. So sweat, smile, and sustain, and I'll hope to see you soon.